So, welcome back from your lunch break. I hope your tummies are full because we've got a lot of work that is awaiting us. As you can see, while you were in the canteen, I've moved around the desks and looking that side, you'll notice that there are big cue cards on the floor. And for this purpose, and this part of our upskilling session, we're gonna look at the Grow coaching conversation. So, what this means is I'm gonna put you through different thinking states, and we're gonna make sure that what we've learned, we apply it thoroughly so that everybody is vividly clear of what the expectation is. So, as you can see, these cards that are on the floor, I've split the groups into two, so the other five will be that side and the other five will be this side. So I want you already to split yourselves up. If you had a partner, you separate as partners, so we'll then split it even, right? From those previous coaching agreement groups that we had, you split. So if you and your partner was the coachee and coach, then you split yourselves, and then one this side, one that side. Thank you. So with the space that is set up, I want us to start by the G. And as you would remember, the G stands for, that's right. Okay, so we're all gonna go into that space. I want each of you to think about an idea or a goal that you really want to achieve from a personal capacity, because I want to instill the principle behind so that everybody is clear, so that we are able to apply it from a personal perspective into the performance area also of our lives. So I want, yes, as we're standing there, I want each of you write it down. The goal, the destination, the place that you want to be at. And is everybody done? Thank you. Okay, so what are we going to do with that idea? I want you to stand there and feel like it is a land that you want to feel. Or if you're in a house and you're in art, this is a plain canvas. This is a canvas that you've painted as a destination. What does it feel like to be in this goal space? Well described, yes. And remember, this is just something that you genuinely want to achieve on a personal capacity. The things that you really want to get to, right? What's the value of actually being in that state? What's valuable here? Absolutely. So if you are here in this state, you've reached, everything looks good, plans are achieved, and it feels great, right? Because this is the destination that you want to be at. If it is a business, because some of you have mentioned that you want to open up a business and make sure that you have a clear running domestic business where you're cleaning and you're servicing hotels. You have cleaners, you have people that do the ironings inside the hotels, and you want to provide that service, right? 100%. That's the destination. Fully running, the desires are great, the financials are good, and you want to, and for you, you mentioned the fact that you want to become that public speaker that motivates children out there, that motivates young people. That's your goal, being a public speaker. of note. And therefore, what's the gesture that represents what it feels like to be here? Sorry. What are the gestures? Nice one. Yes, yes. Okay. We're hearing a whole lot of ideas, and maybe by you having this picture in your head of you being a businessman, of you being a public speaker, of you running that rental business for catering, cutlery, and crockery stuff. If you stay there in that state where you have everything in your mind, um, you know, it's there in your mind. What happens if you stay there? What else? What else? Great point. What else? Can everybody resonate with these points that are popping up around the class? Realize one thing, that this is all still in the head. It is imaginary. It is like when one has a place that doesn't exist, but you are living in it, but it does not exist. So now, what we are going to do, we're gonna move from that state, and we're gonna take it to what did we say the R stands for? Absolutely, yes, correct. The reality. Now, what's your reality looking like right now? Yes, you typically a Standard Bank employee. Well done. You are still an employee. You mentioned something, you don't have a business plan. This is just still a thought. You don't know how to run. You mentioned that you haven't even equipped yourself with the knowledge of knowing how to get to that rental business, to rent out the crockery and cutlery. So, guys, this is your reality. This is where you are. And this is what it means, that for some of you, you have not even started, but yet you have brilliant ideas. Can you imagine also with people that have passed away having great ideas, and a person gets to a point where, unfortunately, and God forbid, they get to a point where either they get sick or some sort of accident, and their reality is they are laying dreams. It's laying on dreams, and it's their reality that that dream never came to being. I always laugh about the fact that maybe our president, who was supposed to be the actual South African president, is somewhere in some cemetery, and the ideas are gone, and here we are. Our reality is the fact that we are the South African nation, but it is exactly that reality. And I want you to take a moment and tell me, do you think it's valuable being here under reality? Yes. Yes. And now when you compare and look at the fact that you are at this reality, what happens if you stay there? Yep. Yep. That's true. So what are we going to do now? We are going to move to the next place where we've moved from where we want to be and what is the current reality, and now we're moving on to options. Options. You can move on. Yeah, everyone. So maybe let's define what are, when we speak about options, what do we talk about? Yes, absolutely. So this is a comparison of understanding exactly what the gap is and what then can we do to bridge that gap. And now I want you to think about, what does it feel like to be here, standing there? So what I'm hearing is the fact that you have an opportunity to change the reality. I like that. What about you, Lerato? Absolutely. So for some people, you can already realize that there is something that is standing in your way. And we need to then identify that thing or challenge or obstacle that is standing in your way, and identify how do you then overcome that, because that is also important, crucial for you to move forward. It is because you need to learn what exactly is standing in your way. How does this then help you? Because as you standing there under option, I want to understand the value and the beauty of understanding and knowing what options are available. Please share. What else? Great insight. Okay. So, what's the gesture that you guys think represents what it feels like to be here? Yes, you can already see that. So, yes, you can already see the emoji, the thinking emoji, and the thought, that's right. So, I think for you, you guys resonate more with the emojis. I know. Maybe I like being old school, but hey, um, the thought provoking moment where you need to first face your reality and understand where you are, but not only that, also identify the different options and what's standing in your way, so that the tool to actually help you overcome the obstacles and for you to be able to get to your goal sits under options. Let's look at that and let's understand. So absolutely, you are correct. You need to make sure that there we are vividly clear and we understand. And sometimes it might not just be an overnight thing. Looking at the options requires one to think, to start thinking, how can I do it? And that's the game changer with your teams. Once you start knowing the beauty of unpacking and looking at the fact that you are here right now, and perhaps what is standing in your way and how can you overcome it? What are the options available? And remember, you can have two. It's okay. Go try out the two. Because when one loses, then you have a backup of one. But when the tools are 5 and above, can you imagine that the chances are greater for you to succeed? Can you imagine the level of leaps and bounds that one can get to and stretch out to, so that you are able to succeed and reach your goal? Yes, you'll have your mind telling you about the realities of the world in order for you to get to that business, the hotel, the service business that services hotels. Yes, maybe somebody in your family may have encountered and tried, but it is an opportunity for you to take one, you have learnings if you have experienced it before, or have someone that has gone through the same challenge. You have tools that you can put in yourself. We live in a world of AI. We live in a world where things are open. We have so many options, but it's there for you to think about and actually go do. Because tools can be there, but if the commitment is not there, what do you think will happen? Quite right. Quite right. So now let's move on. The last phase, which is the W, which stands for, correct, way forward. So what does that mean for you, Tabang? Way forward. When you hear that word, what else? And as you guys are moving, yes, you two guys on the other side, you can move too. As you're moving to the way forward, what does it feel like to be here? I love that you're jumping up and down, because now you are filled with ideas. Because remember, we had ideas which are personal to us at the beginning. And this is so meaningful now, because as you move through the different states, you feel the body starting to change, because now you moved from options to way forward. You now know that for some it's 2 options, but for others it's 5 options. Now you need to clarify and understand, which one am I going to do first? Which one am I going to do second? And therefore, that's how you start to move on, because you must be clear with how is it that you're going to move forward. Guys, if the clarity is not there, it's going to be like me the other day. I had 5 tasks and we were in the office, and by the end of the day, the 5 tasks were not done, because I was doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then I skipped this one and I went to that one, and then so it was as if it's not work done, but it was everything done half. And therefore, half done, I always say to my previous teams, half done equals to not done. It's not done. You need to go and complete and execute on the options that you've chosen, that you've thought of, that you've committed to, and then specifically say, I will start going forward. These are the timelines. This is how I will measure it. It must be street smart. Is everybody clear? I would like for you to think about any questions that you would like to ask me, because it is important. Guys, this concept, you're going to be able to apply it in your performance and do it genuinely and happily so, because out of this, you are able to get people into different thinking states, for them not to be robots, but to start thinking, what can I do differently? How can I understand what my contribution is towards this mess? And how do we then fix it and be able to move forward so that it doesn't reoccur again? So that it doesn't reoccur. And if it does come, it is fine. But at least now I don't have to sit and be stuck. But I've got tools that have been placed, that are in place for me to utilize, for me not to get stuck, but actually to work on and be able to move forward. Any questions? Oh, comments. Yes, absolutely. I love comments. Question? Now, I have a question for you. I would like for you, maybe I'll choose one from that group and one from this group. What was interesting throughout this process? Even as you say Tabang, that this is like mind blowing. Um, what was mind blowing about it? And for you, what did you learn now with your specific goal, going through the states and finding yourself on the way forward? What did you learn and what was interesting? Because you mentioned the word mind blowing. Well done.